I got lots of messages that agents weren't able to make it live today, but that they would like the recording. That is fantastic. To me, that means that agents are out producing, and that's what we like to see. And the live recordings are always available. So we have a private Facebook forum called Secrets and Strategies of Digital Marketing and Social Media with Liz Comer. That is the title. It's very long, but it's so that we don't get it confused with other forums. You can request to join that. I'll add you, and you can be part of the discussion. So all of the recordings from these classes are posted there, as well as on our Silver Creek TV. You can find them live there. So they're available. Takes a few days, but we get them up there for you. Today we're talking about search engine optimization. I'm very excited. SEO is one of my favorite topics. It is a puzzle to a lot of people. Oh yeah, we have more joining in our virtual meeting. Welcome. I was just doing a quick intro. Perfect. Okay, search engine optimization. A lot of times, I teach this class with an audience because of COVID right now. I'm not able to do that, but I like to ask a question. Do we know what SEO is? Is it a big mystery? Do we feel like we have a hold of it? Do we understand how it works? Search engine optimization essentially means that you are optimized online to be the first person or at the top of the list when people are searching for your services. So if I needed somebody to clean my house, if I was to look up house cleaner, who comes to the top? The person who comes to the top has the best search engine optimization. And there are tools and tricks and tips that can bring you to the top of that. And we're going to talk about them today. We are going to approach this from a few different angles to be specific. We're going to talk about the inside looking out, so the back end of your website and the back end of your digital marketing looking out to your audience, and then from the audience looking in, what is your audience specifically looking for, and how can we make sure that those things match so that you are optimized to the best of your ability. A few things that we already know. So this is our 4th class of a 12-course series. So far, we've talked about defining our target audience. That is going to be very important. And I want you to write that down. If you haven't already defined your target audience, that's going to be an important aspect for you to figure out. And you can refer back to class number 1 to find some worksheets to make that happen for yourself. Number 2, we researched traffic and keywords, web traffic and important keywords. We used a program called Keywords Everywhere. That is a Chrome application. You can put that on your computer and it'll help you research keywords. Understand the web traffic, where people are searching, where people are going, and why. And then our 3rd class, we talked about using websites for organic funneling. That was our 2nd class. Organic funneling and websites. You can also refer back to our 2nd class for that. But organic funneling is matching the consumer journey to where our agents or where our clients are going in the process online to find you. How are they finding you, and where are they at in their consumer journey, and how can we best align those two needs with our solutions? So those 3 pieces are pretty important to keep in mind while we're talking about search engine optimization, because essentially we're optimizing our strategy to align perfectly with those things that we're talking about. Okay, few questions. Is search engine optimization worth my time? Why is traffic from search engines, why is the traffic valuable? How do the search engines work? And What is a click-through rate? Those are 4 things that we're going to talk about to start out. Number 1, is it worth my time? Well, we can do a little bit of market research like we talked about in our first class. We can look at our competitors. We have our handy tool called similarweb.com, where we can go see where traffic is coming to some of the biggest websites in the world. We can actually look at that traffic and analyze, and we can understand that quite a bit of web traffic comes from an organic search, which means that they go into the Google search bar and they search specifically for a website, and it takes them directly where they want to go. So that's a direct click through, right? And then also look at yourself. Look back to how often you use Google. How many times a day are you Googling things? Or how many times a week are you Googling things? And what kind of things are you Googling? Are you looking for specific things in a specific moment? Like you need an answer for something right now. Are you looking for specific businesses to solve specific needs? Usually, yes. We don't just kind of get on there for entertainment, right? We Google to answer a certain question. So that brings me into why it's so valuable. We look to Google for a solution to a specific problem. It's specific, like I said, and we want it right now. We need an answer now. And when Google takes too long, we get annoyed, which is how our culture works, right? So if we were to compare that to Facebook, on Facebook, we're scrolling through passively as a form of entertainment, and we're not actively looking for anything. In fact, if somebody is to advertise something to us on Facebook, it's almost a little bit annoying and sometimes eerie, because we're like, why and how do they know that I was looking at those shoes on my Google search 10 minutes ago? It's not always appreciated when we are advertised to on Facebook. Sometimes it is. Sometimes, oh, I can get these shoes 10% off here. That's really helpful. And then I end up buying them, right? But we're not specifically looking in that moment. And it's not time specific either. So that's why Google search engines perform so well. Or any search engine. That's why search engines in general perform so well. Why is Google the dominant search engine? Well, they came up with an algorithm that matches our needs and our wants and our needs and our specific questions to correct answers faster than most search engines. They just did a better job. They did a little better marketing. They had some money put into the right places at the right time. Some people would argue that Bing actually did it better. They just didn't market as well. I think Google did just fine. They also collect that information. They've been able to use that information to their advantage in a lot of different ways. So that's why they did better. Okay, how does it work? Based on 2 things, relevance and authority. And those are the 2 primary pieces of the Google algorithm that's going to push you to the top. So you can keep those 2 things in mind, relevance and authority. I'm actually going to write that down. So hopefully you can. Okay, search engine optimization. I already kind of started this. A search engine, like I said, is Google or Bing. We're going to work with Google today. Yahoo. Ask Jeeves was a search engine. But today we're going to talk about Google. So Google, you get to the top of Google by relevance and authority. What does that mean? Relevance means that the words actually match up. How relevant is the search compared to your answer? So if somebody was to search Boise foothills, real estate in the Boise foothills, Do you have something on your website that says, here is the very best real estate in the Boise foothills today? Boom, you're answering their specific question. Do you have that on your website? Anywhere? And how do you get that there? What do we do to make sure we're answering the specific question in that specific moment, right? And then authority. How many people are actually using your website to answer their questions? How often are you getting clicks on your page? How many other pages, how many other websites refer back to your page? Are you the authority of this information? And Google can measure that. So, two interesting things to think about when you're posting things on your website. That takes me to click-through rates. Click-through rates are the percentage of people who search and then click through to you. So if I was to search ice cream in Eagle, and I find Scoops ice cream, which is a great spot in downtown Eagle, and I click on it, but it's the fourth one down. I was looking for Scoops, but I couldn't remember what it was and what it was called, and I couldn't remember what time they're open. So it was the fourth one down, or whatever I said, the third one down, and I clicked it. Now, if multiple people are doing that and they're clicking the fourth one down, it's actually going to rate that Scoops page higher and higher, because clearly when they're searching Eagle ice cream shop or whatever we're saying, it's what they were specifically looking for, and Google will take that into account and pull it higher. So click-through rate is the percentage of people who search and click through. A higher click percentage means higher positions for Google, okay? All right. We are going to talk about measuring your performance. This is the inside looking out. So your website looking out. Let's draw this too. I didn't really have it planned to draw this one out, but we're going to do it. So our website is www. whatever, okay? How much of that traffic is coming directly from Google? We can learn that on similarweb.com. We can learn the trends. And then how many conversions and clicks are coming directly from the URL itself. So that URL is actually pretty important. Is it www.lizcomer.com? Is it www.idahoicecream.com? You know, does it match? Is it the relevant keywords in the URL? That's really important. So you can search how your page is doing currently by inputting Google Analytics or using things like Jetpack or whatever your analytics and measurement tool is on the back end of your website. If your website is Boomtown, you can check those analytics through the Boomtown site. How many people are actually coming to that page? And it's really important to give yourself a base rate right now. What does it look like now? Are you getting 2 people to your website? Are you getting 10 people to your website every week? Are you getting 100? Are you getting 1,000? Are you getting 10,000? You need to write that down so that when we go through and when we optimize our page to go higher in the search engine, we can study what's working and what's not working. These sort of things are more of an art, well, an art and a science. I was going to say more of an art than a science, but there is definitely a lot of science behind it, so I won't say that. Okay, so this is our website. And then this is our consumer. Okay. I didn't really plan this drawing out, but I think it'll be helpful. It's going to be fun. We're going to measure the performance here and see how many of our consumers are going to our website and how relevant they are to our specific needs. To get to the top of our Google ranking, because they're going to click through from the top first, right? We can, 1, pay to be at the top. And the way we do that is pay for AdWords or Google AdWords. If you go to Google AdWords or just search it, it can tell you how to do that. So you can pay to be at the very top, or you can input optimal keywords in the back end. Keywords that are the most important places for our keywords in our website are as follows. So the number one thing is the URL, right? If your URL is easy, user-friendly, easy to remember, that's going to be very, very helpful. I would say prioritize your URL over everything else. You can map URLs, which I can link how to do that on the Facebook page. You can forward a URL. You can use multiple URLs to point to the same website. So I could have lizcomer.com, I could have idahoicecream.com, and I could have whatever else, all go to the same website, and that can be helpful for your SEO. The next piece is the title of your page. So if I'm selling ice cream, Liz Comer sells ice cream would be a great title, right? Let's go Liz's Eagle ice cream is going to be our title. Okay. Brand name and keywords need to go into your title, okay? So my ice cream shop doesn't have Liz's Eagle ice cream is my store title, all right? And that's going to be the title of my page. The meta description needs to start with a verb. Meta description is the subtitle. You can think of it that way. So that's going to go underneath the title. When you're Googling something, the title is the bold piece at the top, and then underneath it is the metadata underneath, or the meta title, and we can call it our subtitle. So meta description starts with a verb. So what's a good verb for ice cream? Enjoy. Actually, we're going to say find Eagle, Idaho's best ice cream. At Liz's Eagle ice cream. Right? So that's our metadata, or our meta description. It needs to start with a verb, and then it needs to show an outcome. So what's going to happen if you go to that site? You're going to find the best ice cream in all of Eagle at Liz's Eagle ice cream. Okay. Does that make sense? Any questions so far? I don't see anything so far. Are we all following? So these are ways that we're titling our page to make the best possible outcome to optimize our website. There are three simple things that you can do. Your URL, your title, and your meta description. Okay, you use those formulas. The title is a brand name plus keywords. The meta description starts with a verb and shows an outcome. And your URL is going to be easy to remember, specific to your page, and it's going to all boost your SEO. The three simple things. Now, how do we know what keywords are going to work for our audience, and how do we narrow it down? Well, people list or running information of your target audience. Who are we trying to target? It's our guy over here. Let's define this guy. So he wants ice cream, right? I would say probably a family-oriented person. Lots of families go out for ice cream. or a guy who wants to go on a date, or he's just hungry, or appreciates artisan foods, right? Appreciates artisan foods or really good ice cream. Good classic person is going to be my ideal candidate to come to Liz's Eagle Ice Cream. That really is a ridiculous name. I'm not going to open an ice cream shop. So let's talk about this guy and let's talk about some of those keywords. We defined who he is, a family-oriented guy, or a guy who wants to take somebody on a good ice cream date, or somebody who just really loves artisan ice cream. How do we know these things? And what is he going to be searching for to find my ice cream shop? Well, let's talk about that a little bit. Keywords everywhere is going to be your #1 research source for that. You need to know how to do that. I'm going to keep referring to keywords everywhere, so go back to my previous classes and learn how to use it, or just Google it and download it to your Chrome app. One thing that you do need to do before I move into the keyword research process, I need to mention to you, verify your website in Google Search Console. So track your site, search your site, and research what is happening. What does it look like? Does your title look okay? Does your subtitle or your meta description look okay? And how can you change those things on the back end of your page so it's populating correctly? It's really important to do. How do other people view your page? How does our ice cream date guy view your page? The outside looking in. Okay, we're going to talk about this keyword research process. Kind of take a little bit of a segue. I'm going to use the whiteboard again. We need to develop our buyer persona, which we're working on with our guy. Their problems, we need to write down their problems. So his problem is that he needs is very hot and he needs some ice cream. What are they going to type into the search bar? And how far are they on the funnel of their purchase? Probably for ice cream, they're pretty far on the funnel. As soon as you decide you want ice cream, you're going to get it. It's different than a house. As soon as you decide you want to buy a house, it's probably quite a bit more to that process, that thought process, than it is to buy ice cream. So write those things down. Buyer persona, which we've talked about, identifying their specific problems. What are they going to be typing into the search bar? And this could be a million different things, right? You can write down every single thing that you can think of. And how far are they on the purchasing funnel, the consumer funnel that we talked about in a previous class? If you need to refer back, definitely do. Okay, I'm going to draw this little puppy out. It's very fun. So this is to understand how keywords work in comparison to each other. Okay, this is a cost comparison. So the price, how expensive it is, or how popular it is, is high up here, low up here, or low down here. Search frequency. Okay, search frequency. How often is it searched? High over here, low over here. So it's not searched often over here, and it's doesn't cost much down here, right? Searched a lot, not searched a lot. Expensive, not expensive. Or popular, not popular, okay? All right. So up here, we have one-word phrases. So ice cream, or, I mean, ice cream, I guess, is one word. We're going to call it one word, ice cream. Or art. Let's talk about art. That's an easier one for me. I have a page where I sell artwork, and if I wanted to use art in my keywords, that's a one-word phrase. It's very general, very generic, and if I was to use it in my keywords, it would be up here. Now I have money over here on this side, like it's an expensive word to purchase in keywords because it is such a popular word, right? So one word phrase like art is going to be very high on the popular or price point over here. 2 to 3 word phrases. Two to 3 word phrases like Boise artist or Boise equine artist. It's going to be a mid-range sector right here, okay? It is going to be mid-price on this scale, and the search frequency is going to be a little bit lower than something like art. 2 to 3 words, so Boise artist. And then over here we have the lowest search frequency is going to be descriptive phrases. So they're going to write in Boise custom equine artist. I don't know, but what do we look for? So searching for Boise custom artwork, right? That would be a very low search frequency. So it's going to be a really low price point. We're going to do description. So probably, I'm not going to write it out. However, they're going to describe it right here, lowest price point. Now, these seem like buying a word like art seems like this would be the hot spot, right? Now, if you're big enough and you can show your relevance and authority and you can purchase that, you're going to do pretty well. If you do something along the lines of Boise artist, 2 to 3 words, you're going to do pretty darn well. You're going to see your ROI. It's a mid-range price. Not bad. This down here, easy peasy. You're not going to be spending a lot of money. Not a lot of people are going to be, focusing on descriptive words that describe your business specifically. This is a really good place to start. You're going to start putting money into it. Get into these 2 to 3 word phrases. You can hone in specifically. But definitely start with these descriptive words. If you're going to be putting any money into it, it's inexpensive. It's specific to what you are doing with your business, and it's going to match exactly what his needs are in this moment at this time, right? So start here with the description. Move up to your 2 to 3 word phrases, and as soon as you master your world, you can put all of the money into your 1 word phrases. So ice cream, right? Or art, or real estate. Nobody has the money to pay for real estate to actually see an effective ROI. And if they do, then they've been doing it for a really long time. They've already owned that space, right? but Boise Realtor or Eagle Foothills Realtor or Boise Foothills or Hyde Park Real Estate, that's a 2 to 3 word section. That's your niche. You're niching out. You get descriptive. So waterfront Eagle Real Estate or 100 acres in Nampa, acreage in Nampa, that's more of a description. That's going to be a great place to start putting that metadata into your posts. Any questions now? Okay, where do we find opportunities to put these words in? Some people have sections in their page where you can put in the information on the right-hand side of your WordPress. You can see where your tags and things go. For some people, it's a little more difficult. You have to search for areas to put metadata. Call it metadata. These are words that match to keywords in a search engine, okay? So that's where we get into blogging. WordPress in general, WordPress owns over 2/3 of the internet. WordPress runs just about everything, which is fantastic for WordPress. They allow you to put a lot of search engine optimization in, and that's why you have a lot of control. So the metadata that you can input, it's really beneficial. WordPress was built as a blog forum, okay? So when you create a page in WordPress, it's essentially, it runs as a blog. And it's because of that metadata. So when you're building a page on, say, your KV Core site or your Boomtown, or you're building a squeeze page through something like Wix or Squarespace, you don't have quite as much control over the metadata, but you can still use it to your benefit by being specific and answering the needs of your consumer, right? Finding your guy his ice cream. Optimize your copy. So when you are building a post, you are answering a specific question for your consumer, so that when they ask a question, you have the specific answer. So, instead of isellrealestate.com, it is I sell you the real estate that you are specifically looking for in this moment.com to them, right? You're not going to make that your URL, but it answers their specific question for them. On my website, if I wanted to, sell somebody specifically a horse painting, it's not Boise artist, it's Boise custom equestrian artist. And that's going to answer their question a little more specifically and generate more clicks. Does this make sense? I can see that I am cutting out on Facebook. Sorry for that pause. It's cutting out on Facebook. Hopefully I come back. Okay. And we're back. So creating content not only puts new, fresh information on your website and builds you points to the Google algorithms, it can generate likes and shares. People can share it to each other or within each other, and get more clicks and more traffic to your page. So we talked about that funneling. If you want to create things to share on your Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, share it that way and get more people up to your page, that's going to win search engine optimization as well, or win more visits, which ups your SEO. There's a couple different ways to do it. So when you're creating a blog post or even a squeeze page, whatever you want to call it, you don't have to call yourself a blogger if you're trying to avoid that. But if you're creating content for your page, you can break up content into different sections, okay? You should be specific about what you're posting. Make sure that it's answering a question for your consumer. but don't try to push a sale every single time. You're offering positive information or content for your viewer. You need to include outbound links. Now, this is going to be huge. Make references and open it in a new tab. So if I am doing a blog on my ice cream and the recipes in my ice cream, and I only use local milk in my ice cream, and I use this particular creamery, I'm going to link that creamery in my post in the recipe so that somebody can click it and go see what the creamery is in a new tab. Now, this is going to, it's an outbound link that is going to create, it creates positive feedback on algorithm, okay? What creates even better feedback on your algorithm is an internal link. So if they were to reciprocate that, or if they were to post on your behalf because you have them on your page, that's a reciprocal link. That shows authority. That's huge. It's almost double as important, okay? So a link back is going to be huge if you can ever get your page referred to by another page. Publish longer content. That's another tip. 300 or more words per post is going to get people to spend a little more time on your page, a little more interaction, and it's going to boost the potential of somebody clicking or finding your post. And then also make sure you are adding prominent sharing buttons. That means they can share it to Facebook, they can share it to Twitter, they can share it to Pinterest, whatever is appropriate. Make sure that it's prominent, like front and center, to be able to share the content or share the information. When somebody shares it to their audience, clearly it makes more clickbacks, more people to your page, higher on the algorithm, higher SEO. Backlinks, like I said, getting featured on somebody else's page is huge, exponential points for the algorithm. Do follow my blog or follow my page. Make sure you add a section so that people can be notified every time that you create a link. And know that we want high authority pages with relevance, so you can email to ask for features. You can, find those high authority figures. Go to, if it's the best Boise artist in Boise, if it's the best Idaho artist in the state, and I want to be featured on their page, what can I do to add value to them so that they'll add value to me in the same way? So find high authority pages with high relevance, who is already coming to the top, and can you be featured on their page and work that reciprocation there. There are also 3 ways that we can create content that generates good likes and shares. Model content after content that already works. You can go find a page called, or go search a page called BuzzSumo. It is a collection of blog posts that have performed really, really well. Study the format of how they've posted and copy that. Don't copy their post clearly, but try to analyze, like, why are people reading this? Why are people clicking through on this? And why is it entertaining? And then see if you can mimic that. Do lists and best of lists, number 2. Do lists like the top 10 ice cream shops in Idaho, or my top 5 favorite artists in the Pacific Northwest, and then link out to them. When you do a list like that, if you are of high authority, or even if you're not, but if you if somebody's proud to have made your list, they're definitely going to reshare that. So that's really, really helpful. That really adds to that reciprocation piece, right? So top 5 lists, top 10 lists, or your favorite lists, right? They perform really well, and they're really easy to read. And people can scan through and decide if they agree or they don't agree, and it's easy to share. And then you can also crowdsource for content. Guest writers are huge. So this is another approach to that reciprocation concept. Having a guest writer, somebody else that, maybe it's a different treat outside of ice cream, or maybe it's a different realtor from a different state that guest writes for your page or for your blog in your state. Get a guest writer to write for you, to post on your blog. It's going to benefit them because they're hitting a totally new target audience. So maybe it's somebody that you refer out to in Florida or something. And you want to two, it's really great for you because it's content that didn't take you a lot of time. And three, they're going to share it on their page. You're going to share it on your page, and it's two audiences from totally different spheres. You're stretching your audience even more. You're linking back and forth. Hopefully they're going to repost this onto their page. And that creates that relevance and authority. Okay. Do we have any questions so far? Another thing that we talked about in our last class was our, I think I timed out. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. I'm timing out on our live stream, but we're back and we're good. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. I have a few people, so we have we have a few people in each forum. I don't see any questions anywhere. We covered a lot of things, a lot of details about a lot of things. Another really great way to generate traffic to your website is through email marketing. Make sure that your website or your specific content is all over your email marketing pieces, like your newsletter or stats campaigns, whatever it is. If you create a great piece of content, that's a great excuse to reach out to your target market and share it with them. The more people you get visiting your page, the higher and closer they get on the funnel, the more likely they are to use you, right? It's kind of the magic of organic funneling and search engine optimization working together. If you have any further questions or want to dig a little bit deeper into any specific topic that we talked about, definitely email me, liz@silvercreekrealty.com. You can also jump onto our Facebook private group that I mentioned before. I can add that in the comments. Or you can search digital marketing, secrets and strategies of digital marketing and social media with a 12-week series, and we're going to be talking about social media specifically. So we have 4 social media platforms that we'll cover over the course of the next month. And then our final portion, the last third or the last month, is going to be practical application. So if you're interested in Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or YouTube, join us next month or next week. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.